Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're operating in the retail space, maximizing your revenue during those crazy peak seasons is pretty much always top of mind, right? So today, we're taking a really data-driven look at one specific, incredibly effective tool. We're going to see how to absolutely maximize your seasonal e-commerce sales using strategically deployed banner ads. Okay, let's dive into this. The biggest challenge brands face during the holidays or big seasonal shifts, it actually isn't a lack of consumer interest. It's those incredibly short, fleeting windows of consumer demand. Consumers are totally ready to buy, but their attention is split in 1,000 different directions. So how do top-tier e-commerce companies cut through all that noise and actually capture those sales before the window just slams shut? To figure that out, we first need to establish our baseline. What exactly are we talking about here? Well, a seasonal banner ad isn't just some generic brand placement. These are highly specific digital display ads designed for precise shopping periods, holidays, or annual events. They exist for one reason: to bridge a vital gap. They connect that existing, high-intent seasonal demand with actual, measurable conversions on your product pages. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be looking at 1. Capturing seasonal demand. 2. Mastering campaign timing. 3. Targeting and ad formats. 4. Designing for high conversion. 5. Retargeting and impulse purchases. And finally, 6. Driving long-term growth. All right, section 1, capturing seasonal demand. Let's talk about seizing that seasonal traffic. The absolute beauty of seasonal campaigns is that you aren't trying to create demand out of thin air. The customer demand is literally already there. Throughout the year, highly predictable events, we're talking Christmas, back to school, Black Friday, they cause massive, measurable spikes in online traffic all across the UK. Consumers are actively searching for really specific items, whether that's a heavy winter coat in November or patio furniture in May. By aligning your banner ads with these precise moments, you're just answering a question the consumer's already asking. Moving on to section 2, mastering campaign timing. It's all about preparing before the peak. Now, what's really interesting about this timeline is the counterintuitive nature of the retail calendar. Pulling off a seasonal campaign requires you to act long before the actual event happens. Notice the offset here. You aren't launching your Christmas ads in December, you're launching your Christmas prep campaigns in October. Back to school? That starts in July. Why? Because you absolutely have to capture customers during their critical research stage weeks before they actually hit that buy button. Plus, timing your campaigns early lets you effectively move seasonal inventory before demand just falls off a cliff. Okay, section 3, targeting and ad formats. We need to match ads to user intent. This is where modern ad platforms really flex their muscles. They don't just guess who wants your product anymore, they use sophisticated purchase history and location data to guarantee relevance. For example, if a user is browsing travel luggage, the ad network spots that intent, and suddenly, boom, they're seeing summer holiday advertisements. On the flip side, a user spending their evening browsing toy categories in November gets automatically segmented to see Christmas gift banners. This level of behavioral targeting perfectly matches your message to what the user wants right in that moment, which drastically improves your click-through rates. To actually execute all that targeting, e-commerce companies generally use 6 major banner formats, and each one serves a very distinct objective. You've got promotional and countdown banners, which drive immediate urgency and direct purchases. Then there are product-focused and category-specific banners, which are geared more toward broad product discovery. Next, you have holiday campaign banners for those event visuals, and finally, retargeting banners. Those are basically your safety net, specifically designed to pull previous visitors right back into your funnel. Section 4, designing for high conversion. How to guide users to action. So, knowing who to target and what format to use is really only half the battle. Every single design choice you make has to guide the user toward a shopping action within seconds. Look at this stark difference between good and poor design here. Poor design relies on complex text and sterile, isolated catalog images. Good design, on the other hand, uses crisp messaging, like winter sale, 40% off, and pairs it with lifestyle imagery. Showing outdoor dining furniture actually set up in a lush summer garden creates an immediate emotional connection with the season. And, maybe most importantly, the destination landing page has to flawlessly match the advertised offer, or you're going to lose that customer instantly. I really want this number to serve as a visual wake-up call for your creative strategies. 50%. More than half of all UK e-commerce traffic now comes from mobile devices. Your customers are shopping on their commutes, during work breaks, you name it. So if your banners are slow loading, non-responsive, or have text you can't even read on a smartphone, you will absolutely cripple your engagement and watch your bounce rates skyrocket. mobile optimization is 100% non-negotiable. Section 5, retargeting and impulse purchases. Time to close the deal. So, the crucial point is, how do we close the deal with those repeat visitors who left without buying? These people are incredibly high value because they already know your brand. The secret here is leveraging urgency. Hitting them with specific messaging like 48-hour sale or Christmas delivery ends Friday acts as a huge psychological trigger. It basically short-circuits their hesitation. By emphasizing limited availability during these super short campaign windows, you actively cut down on those delayed purchasing decisions. Look, we have to accept the reality of consumer behavior. Customers rarely, if ever, purchase after just one interaction. A shopper researching winter coats needs multiple impressions before they feel comfortable checking out. Retargeting provides those necessary personalized product recommendations based on their exact browsing history. It creates a sense of familiarity, drives repeat exposure, and ultimately builds the trust you need to secure that transaction. And finally, Section 6, driving long-term growth, looking beyond those seasonal spikes. It is super easy to view seasonal campaigns as just isolated sprints, but they actually fuel year-round customer acquisition and brand recall. Certain industries are uniquely positioned to reap massive rewards here. Fashion capitalizes on seasonal line launches. Electronics absolutely dominate Black Friday. Beauty brands thrive around Valentine's and Mother's Day, and the sports equipment sector sees a huge influx during the January fitness boom. Plus, there's travel and food delivery. By continually analyzing historical campaign data from these peaks, businesses in these sectors can optimize every single future campaign they run. And this brilliantly illustrates the complete, optimized consumer journey. It's like a giant puzzle coming together. You start by identifying that existing seasonal demand. Then, you intercept that intent with a targeted banner, which leads to product discovery. When they inevitably hesitate, you use retargeting to bring them back for the purchase. And that initial seasonal transaction, that ultimately translates right into long-term growth and solid customer retention. I'm going to leave you with a slightly provocative question to consider as you review your upcoming marketing budgets. How will you use your own historical campaign data to perfectly capture the next wave of seasonal demand? Because believe me, the demand is coming. It's just up to you to be ready for it. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, brought to you by Time Intelligence Media Group. For more data-driven insights, be sure to visit www.timesintelligence.com.